Hi there, it's Nat. It is now 12:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday, November 24th, 2014. I'm making, just feel like making another video vlog. I think I'm just gonna try to make more video vlog. I think it's kind of fun. Plus I kind of get to say things that maybe I didn't get to put in my writing. So, anyway, my topic for my Sunday night is sharing is not just a good thing, it's a God thing. So basically, I went to church today again. I'm working on keeping that up as a routine. And of course the topic is on that because Thanksgiving is coming up on Thursday, and while I was in the service, it just made me think about my time in jail earlier this month that I was in there for 7 days, and it just made me think about sharing because while I was there, I basically, when I got arrested, I haven't been eating. I didn't eat for like 5 days or 6 days because of the drug that I was on. It made me not hungry, and when I'm like that, I just don't eat. It is kind of amazing how the body can actually keep going without having to eat all the time. I mean, I guess I did eat along the way, maybe like a meal here and there, but I didn't really eat. So anyway, I got arrested, and then the day that I got arrested, I didn't get to eat the entire day at all. I had to wait until midnight that night when they finally put me in my cell, when they actually gave me a sandwich. No, that's not true. They gave me a sandwich right before the cell, but that was like 9 p.m. So needless to say, I was starved, and the sandwich was, just like 3 slices of bread with like some poor man turkey ham or turkey cold cut, and so basically I was starved. And when I got into my actual pod, which hold like about 72 people, because my bed was number 72, which is the last number, so I think there are 72 people in that pod. And the first night I was there, when I got in there after my dinner, and at first I was scared. I was kind of scared because the guy that was like in the bed next to me in the infirmary pod, he was being moved at the same time. He was kind of saying like, he wanted to get into this like some kind of like a trusty pod because he wants to be able to work, and also there was trusty pod, and then he was saying, like some of the pod can be really like bad, like it can get like gladiator arena in there, and I was like, holy shit, I've never been in jail, I don't, but I just, I did keep my faith. I just keep my faith in knowing that God will protect me and guide me, and not give me more than I can handle. That's one of the things that was reminded to me in one of the books that I was reading while I was in jail too. God does not give you more than what you can handle. In terms of suffering or temptations. Anyway, so I got in that pod, and it's at first I walk in there, and all the eyes were on me, right? And I just like try to be as calm and as like I don't show fear on my face. I just like walk. I have this like I'm just gonna walk and like look. Not like trying to be cool or anything, but like a little bit with a swag or something, I don't know. But people were nice to me, a lot of people came up and talked to me, and they were welcoming me in a way, and I was happily surprised. And then I met this one older black gentleman. I'm gonna call him a gentleman because he acted like a gentleman to me. He talked to me like, like kind of like, I found out he was been there for like 6 months already. Holy shit, And I got to my bed, and like at around 8 p.m. he came over to my bed and asked me if I'm hungry, and then I said yeah, like he told me if I want some soup. I guess that's what they call the ramen noodle pack soup. So he told me to walk over to his bed, and he gave me a pack of like chicken flavored noodle soup, and I was like, thank you so much. I ran up back to my bed, and I just like start eating it raw, you know, and I think I saved half of it for like for the rest of the night or for tomorrow, but I ended up like eating the other quarter, just like have a little quarter piece left for the next day, because I went back, I saw him going outside to this like, it's like a square, a small square room that's outside with like a high wall, you know, so you can't see anything except the sky, so you can kind of get some air. And he was out there, so I went out there and told him like, thank you so much, you kind of saved me from my starvation. And you know, he said, no worry, you know, he smiled at me, and I told him I saved some for later, and he just kind of like told me not to worry about that, you know, just eat if you're hungry, which kind of like, you know, make me think about how like not to be worried, because you know, in all of my experiences these past years, well, kind of get off on topic here, but like in my experience of these, I mean all my life, really all my life, but these past over years where God or the universe has been training me and showing me how to have true faith and trust, is that when I need something, it will be there available for me, not to worry about it. I mean, of course I have to be, you know, smart about things, but I'm not gonna be put in a place where I will die, basically, you know? And when he said that, it kind of like made me think, like kind of reminded me, yeah, you know, that like just like what happened now, you know, he gave me this pack of noodle when I didn't even ask for it, and just like kind of like God is there, you know, working through people who believes in God or know God, and to help each other along, you know, to share, you know, which is the topic, you know, this is to share God's love, to share the abundance, you know, and not to just take it for yourself, and to see that it's happening in a place like that, in jail, where you would think that people would be the opposite, you know, but people are like so loving, and just like to a stranger, like I'm just a nobody, you know, and people there were nice. And it could also be because I got to be in a trusty pod, which is like, you know, better than other pod, but that's besides the point. And you know, like throughout those weeks, he like the next day he asked me to sit with him at his table, which he like share some of his food later, like, you know, in almost every meal I get something from him, or like he would get like trays from other people. It seemed like they have some kind of like a food trading system going on, like a food like point system that they like trade like in different meals, and sometimes he would share that what he get with me, you know. It's just, I mean, he literally saved me so many days from being in complete starvation, because there are nights where I just sat or lay in my bed for hours thinking about food, you know. That's all I can think about is food. Every hour, every moment, hours, and all I can think about is food. Like what I'm gonna eat, what I'm gonna cook, you know. And I couldn't go to bed like some nights because I was just too hungry, you know. But these people helped me, or this guy helped me, and but I did get to share one of my meal with him, because one night, one dinner, I think that was Monday. Yeah, Monday. This deputy is like very strict and very stern. I like him a lot because he goes by the book, you know. But there's a good, kind heart in him. Like, he has a good heart, you know. And you know, I mean, I kind of told him that day that I was finally able to speak to oh, maybe it was Tuesday night. I can't remember now. But I think it's Monday because we're my work Monday. But either way, he told one of the food preparer to give like 2 extra main dish to me. And I was like, oh my god, you know, like, holy shit, because that was the day that I was starved. We always starve every day, but the cool part was that I finally have enough food to share with somebody. So I share it with, you know, my friend here, Gregory, and I got to share it with the another inmate who's white, who was sitting at our table, and I got to share that food among all of us. And I think that evening we were all feeling full, like, you know, not hungry. Because usually right after I finish dinner, I'm just hungry, you know. It's not good enough, you know. It's not fulfilled. It's not filling, and like, so most of the day, like, you would hear people say they just feed you enough to keep you alive. Like, you know, that's like the saying in there. And you know, a lot of the people that has been there for a while, like their family send them money into their canteen account, or like send them snack, like food, or like, you know, like dry food and stuff through the canteen system that they get delivered Monday and Thursday, which helped them along the way, because dinner gets served at 5 and you don't get breakfast until 4 in the morning. So for like 11 hours you have nothing to eat unless you have those like snacks, you know. Holy shit. So anyway, see, it's just like sharing, and it's like sharing, you know, these people are willing to share. And they don't have to. That's like the thing. They didn't have to, and they share. They shared among each other, and they shared with me. You know, who I'm just new there, you know. And then I met this other like black guy. He's like 2 years younger than me, I think. But he is so awesome because he's like filled with really good energy, just like loving energy, like. He always have a smile on his face, even though he's there, you know, even though he's having pain, going through pain, his own pain. But every time he talks to me, he's always smiling and just giving me his utmost joy. And the first night that we talked together was, I think, Friday, when he just, Saturday, when he just moved there into the pod. He while we were talking, I said that I'm starved, you know, and then he just like, oh, I have the minis cookies, like the sandwich cookies, like so delicious, by the way, left from lunch, and like he said, do you want it? I said, yeah, sure, if you're not gonna eat it, you know. I was hungry, so he gave it to me. Like, he didn't even eat it. It's like still unopened, you know. And I tried to share it with him, and he just like told me, just go ahead and eat it, the whole thing is for you. And that again, just like, I was just like, wow. I was amazed. I was amazed at the level of love that is there. The level of God that is in there. And you know, and he also shared with me like two slices of bread one day, you know, after dinner before bed, with like a slice of cheese and a packet of mustard. He gave that to me. Like, we were talking, it's like, you know, I was like, I'm so hungry, and he's just like, hey, I have some sandwich left from lunch, and he just shared his with me again. And then the last night before I was bailed out, when I found out that was being bailing out in the morning, when my parents, he say, let's celebrate, and he gave me his cupcake that he saved from dinner. So it's yours. It's yours. I was like, let's share now. It's like, it's yours. Of course I ate it, you know. And the whole time it just made me think about this book. Who's the guy? Who's the guy that wrote the book? Man's Search for Meaning. Let's look that up. Man Search for Meaning. Victor E. Frank. He's the he's a Holocaust survivor at Auschwitz. That book was I had to read that book because Jennifer Holbrook at Nova Recovery Center in Austin, Texas, had me read that book the second time I came back from San Diego. And that book was really good. And while I was in jail, I think back to that book a lot, because Victor Frank basically talked a lot about, like, you know, this this energy, this spirit of God's love, or I mean, he didn't exactly talk about God, but he basically saying that when it comes to people being in a place together to survive, you find this level of love, of togetherness, of helping each other that you would not think you would find there. You know, and like it's just funny, not funny, just I guess in a way I am happy that I got to experience in a way of what Viktor Frankl talked about in his book Man's Search for a Meaning, or for meaning. And I got to see that. For 7 days. I got to experience it. I got to experience people trying to cheer me up. People trying to cheer me up and say it's not, so it's cheer up, it's okay, it will be alright. So sharing, again, sharing of food, sharing of the things that they think is in their abundance to other people, and sharing of their joy, sharing of their love, sharing of hope, instead of putting each other down, or instead of competing. Sharing is not just a good thing, it's a God thing. So of course I feel God helping me. I feel God was there protecting me and guiding me, even though I was in I was in a place where society would consider not to be a good thing to have happened into your life. I mean, it's not a good thing to be put in jail, I know. But in a way it was spiritually awakening. And of course, another thing that kind of happened, that kind of like went along with this topic too, was that I was hanging out with Jackson in the afternoon, and we would just start talking about, she was like talking about some of the things she's trying to decide, like a hard decision that she's trying to act upon, that she doesn't know how she's going to go about doing it, or like the timing of it, And the cool thing about that was that she, as we were talking, was sharing more of my stories, because my experience and my story of the past kind of related to what she's going through now, that I feel that could help her to come to her own conclusion, her own ability to act, And as I shared that, she also shared more of her story from the past, and like giving me a complete picture of why it's so difficult for her, and on where she was, which kind of touched back to how we met, the year that we met, which was 2010. I met her in 2010 at a hookah lounge where she was working at the time. And I just find that, it just like, when that hit me, like when that realization hit me, it was like, wow, sharing is so important, like sharing of each other's stories, sharing of our experience, sharing of our journey, even though it may be bad, even though it may be good, even though it may be not understood, but sharing. Could I get to see how the struggle that she had, and some of them was similar to mine, like how we met, like the timing that we met, it was like we were both an emotional wreck at the time, and it kind of like, it seemed like the universe put us together to help each other, to share, to share this journey that we're on, and I mean, it is what it's all about. For me at this point, it's just to share. For me, I just want to be in a state of love and happiness, and sharing of love, sharing of joy, and sharing of our story, to me is like so important, and not to judge, like when you share your story, or listening to other people sharing stories, like the most important thing for me is not to judge, but listen. Because you don't know, you don't know the entire story, so you can't judge, you can only listen, and to appreciate, to be grateful to the fact that they even share that story to begin with. It doesn't matter if they lie about it, it doesn't matter if they, may not tell the entire truth, or maybe they don't remember the entire truth, but the important things that they share. And you know, if it's untrue or whatever, all that stuff, that's on them, that's not on me, you know, that's on them. It's their choice to not tell me the truth. You know, and they would not have a truthful relationship with me if they choose to be fake. So anyway, sharing is awesome. So, I guess this is me again getting back into my blogging, and gonna try to go back and blog the rest of what happened in August, September, October, November. A lot of stuff. I want to explore, like the experience and the theory and the ideas. I want to explore and share about it, because there are still so many of them that I don't understand completely, but I have less fear, let's say. I have less fear to share them. This is Nattawat, and thank you for watching. If you are, I hope it's fun to watch, fun to read.